don't print.
Yeah, I figured you probably didn't print them. You have to put that one on the internet.
I figured out how to do this last time.
Oh, you. Hi, Lynn, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yay. Carol.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm not sure whether that's the right word or not. Lynn. Hi, Lynn, you can hear?
I can. It's kind of echoey and strange, but I'm hearing bits and pieces.
Am I the only other person on?
So do you go on the Zoom? Should I do that? Yeah, maybe if you turn off
that's
your
it.
audio.
I figured it out.
Got it.
Last
Okay,
thing.
now, does it work better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. So I think we're ready here. So I will call this meeting to order. And we have Chum and Patsy and Brady here in person, along with myself and Lynn on Zoom. So I called it to order at 2:02 p.m. And the first item on our agenda is the approval of the agenda.
So move.
Patsy moves. Is there a second?
My second.
Brady seconds. Are there any requests for modification?
No.
Okay. So all in favor of approving the agenda as written, say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Aye as well, so that's unanimously approved. Now we have an opportunity for public comment, which seems a little unlikely given that there's no one on Zoom, but
Who's
I don't know,
Carol?
maybe Carol is here. But I will read our little, well, let me give a
Do we
sense.
have to read it? If we
Yeah,
don't have
no,
to?
is there anyone that's gonna give public comment? Are you giving public comment? There's no one online. Okay, I'm not gonna read it. If we're gonna say we're moving on from public comment because none was desired. So we are on to our first topic of conversation, and that is to strategize around community outreach. I think we're all kind of well aware that is our next task at hand. If we want to put a levy on in November, it has, or in November, it has to be done by August 4th. That the timing that's everyone else's mind. We would need to pass that resolution.
Right, although we have not decided officially on the timing, and I think that is also a topic of,
For sure, I said if we want to.
Yeah.
I think that community outreach will help inform that decision of whether or not to, but we want to be prepared for it should we so desire to put it on the November ballot. So, suggestions for strategies.
Well, I would say that I think it's really important to hear what the community has to say. I know there's a feedback forum, but a lot of people aren't going to fill that out. So,
We've got more than I thought we
Mhm.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can still stay out there. I think having an anonymous feedback form available is really important because for some people, that's the only way that they would feel comfortable offering feedback. But I also think conversations are really important too.
I agree. So, I guess I envision some type of listening sessions that would be available, where we're really looking just for input. We're not sharing what we're doing necessarily. It's really listening to the community, similar to what the feedback form was, having them come to us and sharing the types of concerns that were in that feedback survey, or not survey, feedback form.
Which is, certainly possible for anyone to do, to come to one of our meetings to provide that as well. But that is sometimes a intimidating way. So if we know that they can do that at our official meetings, then finding other ways to do that seems like.
I think being someplace where it feels accessible and non-threatening, that somebody could just have a conversation, in some public place on a scheduled basis between now and at least through August 4th.
Or probably
before then.
Probably through like the third week of July.
Yeah.
Type.
So that we can then start processing how we're going to go forward. But I think having some, dates on the calendar, public calendar, that people know we're going to be there, and not all of us, but I think my thought would be 2 of the commissioners are there.
Yeah.
And people may come, they may not come, but we'll be there. What are your thoughts?
Sounds good to me.
I think I agree with that idea. I feel might be good to maybe for us to work backward, like the schedule, in terms of like how, just want to get a sense of when we, how many more meetings we have and, when has to be decided, when what has to be decided by when, just so we can work backwards, in terms of like, okay, we need information on this by this, or I don't know. Or unless we think like that, we gonna decide everything, including timing and amount just before, and the resolution language just before the deadline. Anyway, so would be good to understand a little bit about the timeline so we can plan accordingly.
Yeah, August 4th is before our regular scheduled August meeting. So do we want to look at the week preceding that?
This August 6th is our August meeting.
A regular meeting,
And that would be too late. So do we want to look at scheduling a meeting on kind of the 28th or 29th would be better for me than.
July, you mean?
Of July,
28 or 29?
or even like the 23rd. 23rd, 28th, or 9th. 28th or 29th is what I would suggest.
28 or 9 is better for me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what did Brady just say?
We're talking about scheduling a special meeting for like July 28th or 29th in which we would have available for a decision on a resolution.
Right, I just was asking what Brady said.
Oh, I said, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay, I said 28th or 29th of July worked for me.
okay. For me, I
Yeah,
would,
it works for me.
29th?
Mhm.
yeah,
I can be flexible on either one of those days.
And Lynn, does the 29th work for you?
yeah, the 29th works better. I'm coming back up on a 9:30 ferry that morning. I could do the 28th, but it would be Zoom again. I'd rather be there in person if I could.
Mm-hmm.
29th it is.
29th.
Should we do 4 p.m. or is that subject to the availability of?
Always subject to availability.
Okay, yeah.
So I would be okay with it a little earlier if people are open to that, but
I am in a meeting till 3 on that day, but anytime after 3.
would 3:30 be too prompt?
No,
Or-
that could work.
I think, yeah, then we need to check the room.
So Lynn generally gets the room, right?
Mhm.
So I think if any time after 3:30 is fine with me. So whatever room available, if
Okay.
other people have,
After 3:30.
Mhm.
if that works, then we can ask Lynn to identify if this space is available on the 29th for an hour and a half, sometime 3:30 PM or later.
Okay, is there any limit for anyone of how late we start?
I would like to not start after 5.
Okay,
So that's when, okay, we need the final decision on the resolution. So, do we want to have more special meetings? We have a regular meeting on July 2nd, right?
Mhm.
Do we want anything between now and then?
Well, we need info sessions and things,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
That's the idea, is between the 2nd and the 29th, we're engaging the community.
Meaning not gonna have a commission meeting until. So we have basically 2 more meetings, right, before we have to do final resolution.
Yeah, we have our meeting on July 2nd,
Mhm.
and then that would be, 3 weeks without a meeting, then a special meeting.
So we should, decide on the timeline and levy amount by July 2nd, maybe? And then have final language, on the the resolution language by,
Well, my understanding is that we were taking those 3 weeks to
gather
gather
input.
more input.
okay.
So
So
that on
maybe
the
like have
29th
first read of the resolution language on July 2nd, yeah?
But the idea of engaging the
Yeah.
community is not to engage them with a plan,
Mhm.
but rather to engage them with information and help their feedback form the plan. So if we have a resolution draft on July 2nd, and then we have public information sessions, it feels like a done deal.
Yeah, well, we also need 2 reads on the resolution before we can approve it, because it's considered a legislating. So, that's why I need to get a sense of like how many meetings we have, so we can plan accordingly.
Mhm. Well, I'm just saying the 2nd doesn't make sense to have the resolution draft, just because we won't have community input by then.
So are you suggesting that we need another special meeting then
Um,
after July 2nd?
How much time do we need to make a decision before the August 4th? I mean, if you, can we have a meeting on July 29th and decide everything at that meeting? Is that an adequate time frame?
We normally have to, first read and then and then second read, and that's, so we need two touches before we decide on something major. And resolution is definitely, the resolution to put on a levy is, something that we want to have at, two touches at least, so that means that, yeah, the 29th, if that's the final meeting, then we likely gonna need another one before that.
Before then.
I don't think you are required to have a first reading. I'm trying to read up on it right now.
Typically, you can waive, we don't have bylaws, but it would be RCWs that would drive it.
Yeah,
Well,
But it's good practice to have.
It is good practice, yeah,
But
and it is
I would
legislating.
suggest that the 29th would be the first of two, not the second of two, because we need 3 weeks to get community feedback. So the week of the 6th, the 13th, and the 20th, if we're planning information sessions, then we come together on the 29th and do a first read.
So maybe,
I thought we needed the 29th to pass. I thought that's when we were talking.
Well,
about.
we need it by the 4th of August to make the deadline if we're going in November, right?
Mhm.
So we could meet on the 3rd of August for a second touch on it. For example.
If we had
But
decided.
we also have our regular meeting on the 6th.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we could do a special meeting. Like the week before that, or the 13th or 15th type of 16th that week. I don't know. Even just to do a first read or something.
So I have a question. Can
Mhm.
we do a first read in person on the 29th? And is it possible to do a vote where no one appears in person, but we all appear on Zoom just for the final vote if we've agreed to things on the 29th?
No, I mean, a meeting always needs some portion of the governing body in person.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Unless it's an emergency.
So,
Well, I personally think we need as much time to gather community input before we do anything.
agree,
So
yeah.
I think the meeting on the 29th is where we put together our thing, and if we need to do 2 votes, then we've got to come up with some time between the 29th and the 4th. Is there a deadline on the 4th? If we voted on the 4th, could it then be turned in, or do we need to vote on the 3rd? Or I just don't know what the mechanics are.
I don't think we should extend it beyond the 3rd. That's a
Mhm.
great weekend for me. Could we do another meeting on like the 22nd where we do a first read and kind of a reflection on some of the information we've gathered? Well, it says we're installing your heat pump that week, but. I know.
I'm off island on the 22nd, but I am on island the 23rd, if that
I
makes
could
it.
do the 23rd.
I can't do either of those 2 dates.
Okay.
22nd is school board. meeting.
Did you say the 23rd does not work for you?
Yeah, it's Judy's birthday.
Oh,
Very important.
Not be good.
That's not
for me
like
to
a
be in the
national holiday.
meeting.
Not yet. What about the 21st?
When it does work for me.
mhm.
Or the
Good for me.
24th. I mean, we want time between the second and this meeting for public sessions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're
Right.
leaving ourselves 2 weeks with July 6th and July 13 weeks for info sessions. That's the thinking.
We could do an info sessions that third, like the 20 through the 24th. We could continue doing them because, it's mainly to get a first read and a first digest of the feedback we have received. So if on the 21st, we could do an initial processing of feedback we have received, along with a first read of a resolution. think that would be useful. And then I think we should make our decision on the 29th.
Yeah, in terms of the availability that night.
I think we should be prepared to do that on the 29th, because
Mhm.
otherwise we're just getting very close to that cutoff for the resolution. So what is general availability on the 21st?
I'm good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
day works
time
for
up
me.
to-
Mhm.
There two. Lynn, what about you?
I am available by Zoom 3 or later.
Okay, so let's say, do you want to book a room on the 21st sometime between 3 and 5 p.m.? Would that work for you?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm putting these into our calendar that populates on our website.
So I'm wondering on the website if, so we all, I don't know if Patsy has had a chance yet, but the rest of us have created Lopez Rec emails so that people could reach out to us. Are those posted anywhere on the website that I've not noticed if people wanted to give us feedback that way?
Not yet, and I think it would be a really good idea to add that.
Just to give
There is
people,
an info one that forwards to me. But
Yeah, I think,
having our individual contacts listed, I think
I
is a
think
great
it'd be
idea.
Yeah,
really good.
that's a good idea.
And, yeah, and also to just, have, Patsy's name on there too, and along with other commissioners' names. I
Mhm.
think that would be really good, just so people understand like who is right now.
Does it say that right now on the website?
No,
Mhm.
no,
No, I think that's a really good idea.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Mhm. And I do have one of our emails set up now.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so then now that we know, then, yeah, then would be good to plan info sessions.
And the more we can do before the 21st.
Yes, I agree, yeah.
and it seems like we should try to schedule them at different times. That's one of the things that's out there in the ether is that our meetings are not at quote convenient times, so maybe we should try to do some weekend days, which
Mhm. And some evenings maybe.
I'm mostly available over the next 3 weekends to do that.
So,
And
have we ever been at the farmer's market?
No.
No.
We haven't been anywhere.
The interesting thing about the farmer's market is
As
there's
commissioners, no.
tours.
Yeah, it's not a lot of voters.
Mhm. I
If
know
you
that some
wanna,
of
if
the
you wanna
other.
reach local voters, I think local spots, like the Isabel's picnic
Mhm. I think the
tables.
picnic
and-
tables outside by the village green would be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Mhm. And
Are
maybe
those the ones
library.
where like the new pavilion was built? Is that what you're talking about?
It's like.
By the public
down-
restroom?
Yeah, near the
Yeah.
public restrooms. Mhm. I think there's a picnic table there. I meant to check on the way.
There's
here.
multiple picnic
There's
tables.
that's where I
multiple
met,
ones.
so.
Mhm.
like Justin Paulson, when he was running, and he had a constant flow of
Mhm.
folks, it seemed effective,
Yeah, I
Okay,
think that's a great location.
yeah.
there's picnic tables out front of Blossom.
That's right.
At Where It Blossoms.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I was there during campaigning time.
What about the library for an evening type of thing, the meeting room?
Mhm.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
how many should we do and, should we organize ourselves around that?
I think we need a south end location.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Library could be the meeting room or outside. I mean, we are in good weather
Mhm.
days.
Yeah.
I mean, there are picnic tables at the Southern store that I would do.
In the back there. Mhm.
For South End, I don't know what other location might be good down
I think that's probably the best spot that I can think of down there. You know, there's picnic table down at McKay Harbor, but you know, you gotta drive all the way down there towards the dock. It doesn't feel as accessible.
Yeah,
Islandale feels
Mhm,
the most accessible.
mhm. Are those the restaurant, tables that we're talking about?
yeah, and I mean, I guess I wonder if, I mean, we could get permission, we could find out if the restaurant is not open a certain afternoon or something, and do it when it's not.
Right now, they're only open on Mondays and Tuesdays, so that gives
Is
us a
that-
lot of dates.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were doing Mexican food Saturday, Sunday, and burgers Monday, Tuesday, and the Mexican food went away. I haven't spoken to him this week, but that was still the status quo when I left the island on Sunday evening.
Okay.
So,
So they might be fairly available.
Yeah.
and if we threw Mexican food out there, we might get a crowd.
Well, I would suggest that we do it in teams of twos.
Mhm.
I think it's
Yeah,
advantageous for all involved.
Mhm. I agree.
Yeah,
Um,
best for me is the week of the 6th. I actually don't. I might have, never mind, but I can make it work. Week of the 6th is better for me than the week of the 13th, just based on my calendar. So I could do a couple on this week of the 6th.
Okay.
could maybe do one on the 6th, but that's it.
And then I could do the 6th. But you and I have done together before, so we should probably split up.
Well, we didn't.
I can do one next week, two, if we wanna spread it out. Would anyone be available for next week?
Next week
I,
doesn't
I
work.
could do early next week, and then I'm pretty wide open the weeks of the 6th and the 13th.
Are you around locally?
Yes, that's what I mean by.
Oh, okay, that's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna zoom in for those.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that would be challenging
No.
at the picnic table.
But yeah, so early next week, and then like I said, the weeks of the 6th and 13th, I'm there constantly, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is
Fine.
early next week. I don't know if we have enough time to publicize that we are doing it. So wonder if that's enough advance notice. What do you think? We could try it for Tuesday.
Well, by early, I mean Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So if you think we need more
I think
time
we
to
have
advertise,
to,
I
otherwise
could
we're
do
gonna run to the
something.
4th of July.
I know, yeah. Would
Right.
anyone come for July 1st? Isn't
Well-
that the day the pool is open? People might be out and about.
Well, that is a concern on the Wednesday, is that you're gonna get a lot of tourists, I suppose.
Mm. We could try Tuesday. Yeah.
I'm not available.
So you want to do the 7th of July?
Let me check. If it's in the afternoon. My husband just had surgery, so he can't drive, so I have to make sure I don't conflict with his appointments as well.
Yeah, of course.
So I could do it, between like 1 and 3, or in the evening. On the 7th.
Maybe we do the library on the evening.
The
We can
evening?
get that room.
Sure.
think I know what that library scheduling, we've got that before.
Can you schedule them online or do you have?
You can figure
They
it
set up
online,
that
yeah.
system,
Mhm.
yeah. See what I can find.
Should I put this in our calendar that's on our website?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
So now we have two Tuesday listening sessions,
Mhm.
30th and 7th.
I mean, do you want to call it a listening session just out of curiosity? I mean, is it a,
I don't know, do you have a better term for that?
well, when it's small group, seems like conversation? I don't know. I don't know.
I think listening is a good word, yeah, so that, you know,
People
we,
really wanna, from just the informal talks I've had with people, it's a common thread that people feel like they really want to be heard, so
Mhm.
listening,
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's
I
appropriate.
think so, I think
Yeah,
at least like,
too.
okay, we are trying to listen to
Mhm.
people or giving the community an opportunity to be listened to, yeah.
you said 5 p.m.?
Well, I'm trying to get a room first.
On the 7th.
Yes.
I'm just putting the location to be
I
determined
want
with
to
the
get the
library.
library.
It's at 5 o'clock.
So, did we agree, Chom, are you and I doing something on the 30th?
Sure, yeah,
And
And,
where and when would you like to do that?
that is to be determined, I am looking at the calendar of at the library right now, or do you wanna do picnic table?
Yeah, I'd rather
In the
do
library to sign up, John,
I just,
can you check the 7th?
I just as do,
Yeah, let's see.
I realize Show's appointment is 4 to 5.
Oh,
So,
on the 7th,
wait a minute, yes,
okay.
so, I
So
mean, he would probably be amenable to coming. We could rope him in,
We can listen
so,
to him.
but.
you mean, is it on island? Is
Yeah,
it
I see her
PP
on
or something?
island, so it
Okay.
goes till 5, so maybe starting at 5:30 would be better,
That can work
just
for
in case
me.
they're running late.
If the room's available, I don't have my library card, which I need to log into the system, so.
Um,
Right, they have a new system.
uh,
July 30th, okay, what time, is good for you, Lynn? Is available in the afternoon after 12:30.
yeah, I'm available anytime after 10 a.m. So,
Okay, maybe like 4 p.m. So working people can make it perhaps after work.
and where do we want to be?
And you're saying library?
Yeah, 4 p.m.
So we're going to be inside at the library?
I guess so, unless you want to be somewhere else.
Well, I personally, I appreciate that Brady and Patsy are setting up a library session, but I think that it also might be good to have
To diversify a
some
little bit.
availability outside, so people that don't go and find out where we're gonna be
Yeah, I like
walk
that
by
idea.
and
Okay,
see us and stop and talk. So I would
right.
say maybe either, yeah.
So you are looking at 7 on the 7th, right? So it's available
No,
between 2 and 5 p.m. on the 7th, the library room.
between what time?
2 p.m. and 5 p.m. So it's not available between 5 and 7, and not available between 12
Well, I
and
could do
2.
it earlier,
Yeah, we could do
because
an
the appointment is
afternoon
at 4.
with 2 o'clock, 2 to
Mhm.
3:30 or something, or 2 to.
Yeah, 2:30, and then he can go to his appointment from there. I don't have to go back and forth.
2:30.
Yeah.
Um,
We're talking about the 7th, I can make 2:30 on the 7th.
okay, 2:30.
2:30. Okay, I'll try to
And that's-
reserve it.
It sort of means that other commissioners can't go, true? Like,
Sure.
it has to- We have to keep
Right,
it to 2.
yeah, that's
So-
limit to 2.
So we need to keep track of which ones are ours,
Yeah.
not go to the other.
Mm-hmm. And are we saying an hour? Or is that appropriate amount of time?
And then,
Where was the first place that y'all said there were picnic tables before I said Blossom?
The Village Green, like out by the public restrooms, kind of near
oh.
Isabel's.
Yeah, Do people pass by there on the way to anywhere late after work?
Taco truck and.
Yeah, a lot of people sit there and hang out, yeah, I know, council candidates tend to sit there as well.
Okay. Well, should we go there on the afternoon of the 30th?
Yeah, sure,
Sean, I'm still waiting on the library. Were you checking this out?
yeah, it's available, so I'm trying to book
Okay.
2:30 for you,
Right.
and
Bless you.
I think Julie brought something back.
I don't want it.
No.
Not the type of gift.
No, neither.
And then Chom and Lynn, you're still looking for.
I think
we
we
were
just
thinking like
agreed.
4 p.m., maybe the picnic table at the, Village Green. Yeah, we could change the date.
All right.
We seem to be going with Tuesdays so far.
Oh, you know what? Something didn't go on my calendar. I can't do that Tuesday. I could do it earlier in the day. I forgot, I'm sorry. Something just
We're
got.
talking about weekends, like Saturdays at Isabel's table would be better than, because of the taco truck, I think.
But Lynn, you're saying 4 p.m. doesn't actually work on the 30th?
Yeah, sorry.
Chom, can you do earlier on the?
What time are you suggesting?
I would need to be done by like 4:15, so I could do earlier in the day. I could do, like, I
Okay,
could
how
do,
about we
I
start
could
at,
do late morning if we thought we'd catch some coffee drinkers. I could be there by like 10:15 or so.
okay, yeah, that works for me.
Wanna do
You want to
that?
say 10:30?
Yeah,
Okay.
10:30, yeah, and then we can catch people,
Okay, great.
yeah.
So the 30th, Isabel's 10:30.
10:30 to 11:30? Picnic table at Village Green?
Yep.
Booking purpose, Lopez rec listening session. This is for the library. Number of people, I would just write maybe 8.
Yeah.
If you're lucky. Okay,
Did anyone do the 15th? Or
What date are you looking at? The
the
15th?
15th?
okay, oh, shoot.
Yep, I could do the 15th.
Sorry, Pepsi and Brady, would you like just 1 hour or 1.5?
What are
You had
guys
the
doing?
appointment after.
Yes, the
So-
appointment's at 5,
2.5.
4, so an hour,
Let's do-
2:30 to 3:30.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's okay.
Okay, 1 hour, okay,
And
that's
then
what I
Chom,
used.
what do you want? 10:30, I put it as 10:30 to 11:30.
Okay,
Is that what you want, or do you want to?
yeah, we can do to 12, just in case, yeah. It'll be sunny.
Can you do till noon on that 30th, Lynn?
Sure.
Okay.
And
And then
Was that the 30th or the 28th? I got confused there.
June
Did you
30th.
have it on the 28th or did you change?
they were doing, they
Or
were
you're
talking
doing-
the 30th.
30th,
Oh, okay.
And I can do sometime on the 15th. If,
where, do you want me to look at the library?
I'd rather do outside.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do the
Okay.
15th. I'd like to schedule something for like the weekend of the 18th and 19th outside. I think maybe capture something on a weekend.
The weekend, I could do the 18th or the 19th. Do you want to do something in the village?
LVM? Actually, no, LVM doesn't like political
Is there a
stuff.
place to sit there outside or?
The Village Green is fine.
Yeah.
But we
Green is
haven't
better.
done a South End one yet, I would just like to point out.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, you wanna do South End on the 18th?
Yeah, maybe it's better if I can do the South End one since I live down there too.
Yeah,
Are you guys
Am I
saying,
the only
thinking
South End
18th
again?
or 19th?
Well, are you thinking the 18th or 19th? I think that if you're gonna do a weekend one, it's better to do it in the village. Because there's more people around, I think, don't you think, on the weekends? Than there would be, to take advantage of people who might come out to things.
Sure.
Well, either way, we're not gonna capture a lot of people at the south end. But I live in the south end, so I could do the south end sometime.
Oh, okay.
Even
I
at the
didn't realize
same,
you were
even at the
South End
same
too.
time that, even at the same time that somebody else is doing the village.
Right, yeah, well, then why
So-
don't we do the 18th and 19th at the south end, and somebody else could do the village? Maybe that weekend. You wanna do the south end on that day, Lynn?
Sure,
Which day, the 18th
The
or
18th
19th?
or 19th, either one is fine with me.
same for me.
I think Saturday might be better for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Saturday.
Okay,
You wanna do kind of lunchish time?
Mm-hmm. And right now, we don't think the restaurant's open on Saturday.
I do not.
Okay. So
Oh.
what time, around noon, do you wanna do? Noon to 1 or 1:30?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. And that's Patsy. And Lynn. And you said noon to,
Noon to 1:30 we can do. And I guess,
I should probably give Roman a call and just say,
That-
that's our plan, can you,
Mhm.
is that okay?
Right, yeah.
And then I'd still be happy to do one on the 15th if anyone wants.
15. Okay, I can join you.
Do you wanna do like a,
That's Wednesday, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, where? Blossom?
I would just keep the village green, I
Village
guess,
Green, okay.
just because
Mhm.
it seems like a neutral place.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And it's like we're not having
yeah,
to,
yeah, okay. Village
and
Green.
I would say anytime between 10 and 4 is an okay start time for me, so.
Okay, what, 15? When you think would be good for, in terms of the, I think maybe around noon time, lunchtime, or a little bit before Isabel closes.
Yeah, you wanna do noon?
How about 11?
11, okay,
Yeah,
11 to 1:30,
sure,
or no, 11 to 12:30.
Yeah, and that was on the 15th.
Yes. And I have put them all in our calendar that auto-populates to our website.
yeah, I think we should try to post on Lopez Rocks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if people actually check updates on our website.
Can you recap the dates that we got, just for,
The 30th at 10:30. The 7th at 2:30. The 15th at 11. The 18th at noon. And the 21st is our special meeting. Where we can have public comment and people can give feedback.
So I wonder if we should schedule at least one in the evening, given that those are all during the day. I'd be willing to do one in the evening somewhere. And I mean, and it's light out late enough that you could do it outside.
Mhm. No, that's a great idea. I think for the evening, maybe library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there should be one evening one.
Library stays open late on Wednesdays.
Hmm.
People are often there, I feel like that. might be
Mhm.
a place for
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Library.
So a Wednesday in that time period, let's see. What we got?
That would be first 8. Jim and I are already doing the 15th.
What's the proposed date then?
Let's see, so the Wednesday is
First, or somebody could do another one on the 15th, if you're really aiming for the library in the evening, although we don't know that the,
Okay, let me check the availability, hold on.
Yeah, I sort of think a later start time because again, when I heard people talking about the previous meetings that we had, we had it like 5 or 6 and people were like, well, that's when I get home with although summer is a different schedule, but I'd be happy to do a later thing like, 7 to 8:30 or whatever, so people could have dinner and then come out if it was, and we could do the live.
Mhm.
But I could
You're
do,
looking
I could
at-
do, I could do the 15th.
I could do that with you then if you want.
15, are you thinking the 15?
I thought that was the date that I heard.
that is a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday,
Wednesday.
and the
Is
library's open.
available after 6:30. The room is available after 6:30.
Okay,
So maybe 7? No?
7 o'clock,
Yeah,
Sure.
okay,
that works for me.
Is it open that
Someone else
late?
wants to do it.
it is open, yeah. And you want 7 to 8:30 or 7 to 8?
Maybe
or-
just 7 to 8, since it's late, but I don't know, you're the one who's doing it. How late is the library open then?
I think till 8.
Then I wouldn't go beyond it when
Yeah.
they're open.
When do they close?
Is the library open?
Double
8?
check now.
Wednesday is open until 7.
Oh,
Oh,
and it's booked until, the room is booked till 6:30?
yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
book
they
it
book, they
after?
book all.
You can book it after, no problem,
Or
yeah.
you can do it
You can
outside.
totally book it after.
You could do it
Yeah, if it's
outside.
nice outside, we could do it outside.
Okay, then 7 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Well, but didn't we say it closes at 7?
Well, I think you can use the room, can't you?
You can
Lock
still
it
use the
up
rooms
yourself.
afterward, yeah, you can just.
Yeah,
I used to
we've-
do
we've-
that when I used to use it.
Yeah, we've locked up the room before. We might need to get there before 7 so we can get in, but
Yeah.
Right.
we've had meetings that went after the library closed.
Okay.
Yeah, you can totally
Yeah,
use the room
let's
after.
just get there early so that we can get there before.
Yeah, so you
They're
have to deal
out
with
there.
the keys, yeah,
Easier.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I can't help but notice, Patsy, that you might want to rethink this because that means you're going to be with me on both Wednesday and Saturday. That might be too much time with me that week.
Wants to jump in, that's fine. I'm happy to be with you, Lynn, but
Thank you for
it is good to mix it up too, I agree.
No, I think that's totally
Okay.
fine.
We'll be really well prepared for the 18th.
There you go. Okay, so that is so on the
And then,
18th.
since we've identified times and places and cohorts, teams of 2, shall we just empower ourselves and our teams of 2 to do you want to be individually responsible for the postings of it, or shall I put all of these on Lopez Rocks?
I think it would be
I could
better,
call on Lopez Rock.
yeah, it would be better
Yeah.
to come from Lopez Rack,
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
email.
I
Yeah,
will
that was,
post them all on Lopez Rocks.
And on our website.
So just to clarify here, I just want to make sure I have the same things that you do, Jenny. I have 5 sessions, one on the 30th, one on the 7th, 2 on the 15th, and 1 on the 18th. Is that what you have?
Yes.
Okay.
on the 15th, okay.
There's also,
Yeah.
I committed, and then Kit was interested at the time in hosting a softball at Odlin on July 11th. From 11 to 3:30. So Lopez Rec is hosting, that was the event we approved it,
Yeah,
3 months ago at a meeting. But we can do some information sharing. I can do some information sharing there too. I'm still fine with hosting that.
What does it involve?
Well, I think we still have to tour the field because they were hoping they would get it fixed up, but Ogden is a wetland and it's not a great field, you know. So I think we're gonna move away from baseball, which was the original hope, because they used to historically have baseball games there.
Right.
Benches up on the hill, and there's great old photos of baseball at Auckland and uniforms and. But I think using hard balls in the wetlands is not a great idea. So I think we're shifting to wiffle ball.
Wiffle ball, all right.
Yeah, and anyone can play. Wiffle, WHIFFLE.
You know, pickleball without the
That's
paddles.
wiff-
not
Yeah.
good.
Wiffle ball.
So also for clarification, so as our teams of two go out, I presume that what we would like to do is listen to people and have at least one person taking notes, perhaps on a laptop, so that we capture what people are saying. We can
Mhm.
Be
semi-quantify.
prepared to take notes and share the general feedback, with a respecting of anyone providing that feedback might feel comfortable with it being public knowledge or might want, their name left out of it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, right. They can choose whether they give us their name or not. They just have to be a
Right.
registered voter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to check their voter registration card, but you might not want to talk to random tourists about it.
Yeah. Well, when I was campaigning, I had people outside Blossom that were happy to sign that when we were doing the petition, happy to sign the petition. And then I said, "Where are you registered to vote?" "Oh, I'm registered to vote, all kinds of places." And I was like, "Well, thank you for your time, but."
Yeah. But
11 to 3.
That isn't something we all have to attend. Are we allowed to?
I committed to it. I'm still gonna try to get it and help, because he said yes way back when.
we can attend social events where we're not doing work of our board together. You're just whiffling together.
The word levy cannot pass our lips.
Are there any signs or anything, like if people come and you're sitting outside, is there something you can put a little Lopez Rack wants to talk to you or something like that, especially when you're outside?
Banner
Do
somewhere.
we have something that you could take?
We have a banner somewhere.
I guess we don't have a Lopez Rec.
It might be helpful to have some type of signage, especially if you're outside and people just walking by might not be intending or planning to be there and they see you and they want to come up, but they don't know that it's Lopez Rec if you don't have anything.
I have a sweatshirt I can hang on the edge of the table.
We could maybe do a sandwich board that we pass around from one person to another.
Good idea.
Yeah. Let's see if. Do we have, or even like campaign sign, just repaint? Yeah, that might be a good thing to have. Yeah, that may be easier than sandwich board.
I have the metal things for Lopez Rec wants to hear from you. Available today. Listening session available today.
To the stand, but not the sign.
I don't have a sign.
It would be good to have something.
Yeah, do you have one of those? If you can give me one, since Lynn and I will be doing the first one, I can volunteer to put up, just draw like listening session, Lopez Rec or something.
Right. If you have one of the old signs that we could use and we could put paper over the top that just said Lopez listening session. Do you have a sign or just the stands?
I have a sign that says connect with the community.
Perfect.
Yeah, that works, yeah. Okay.
If you can make it the sign with the paper that goes over it, so that the time of it is different, is separate from the
Yeah,
listening session in the middle.
Do we
and
need
then-
to say time?
Well, if you're putting it up like at the library,
Oh,
You
like
put
you
you
it
were
up on
can?
the
I thought we were
Oh.
talking about you like go there.
Just at the
put it up
time,
where
yeah.
you are.
Yeah, I was thinking that way too. If we're sitting at picnic
Sure.
tables, we post our sign.
or do you do that? What do you do with the sign at the library?
I guess he's,
The library may not work.
Might not work,
Unless they
yeah.
wanted to put it on their little bulletin board that they have outside, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that for.
So just for Isabel's.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
the main one. or
it's at the
something.
table.
When we're in a public space,
Yeah, it's good
so
to,
to look visible.
yeah, and also to let people know that we are not here to just casually hang out and people can come and
No, I
bring
get the
tacos.
purpose of the sign, for sure, I understand that, like, I
Yeah.
agree with
Mhm.
that, I just wasn't sure about the library.
Right. Yeah, there's more,
I mean, we
just
could
make
put
it,
it right outside the door or something if we want.
You could put it out on the
Mhm.
roadway so that people will turn into the library.
Yeah.
yeah, I
local-
like that idea, yeah,
Yeah.
just like, story time.
Yeah.
And again, that's why
Yeah.
I wanted to put time,
Yeah. I hear you.
because otherwise you're just sticking it out there.
Yeah, you'd be sticking it out right at the time that you're there, basically.
Yeah, well, I will round up the sign, that's fine.
Okay,
People can augment it as they see fit for the event.
sounds good, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I have some big white paper. I can make an overlay.
Yeah, or you could even just at the bottom strip of the previous, you can just put a bottom strip that says, come chat. Or we want to hear from you, or however you feel
We're
inspired.
here to listen.
Do we need to
to?
cover up the old
Okay.
logo or anything?
If you want to hear from people that voted no, you do not use the rally for the rec signs
Right.
in any form. In fact, you make sure it doesn't look like one of those.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking we do an overlay.
Yeah,
That we just use the sign to hold up the paper because I have thin paper that I could tape to it, but it's not gonna hold up by itself on the
Mhm.
wires.
On the website, in addition to putting it in the calendar, do you think there should be some sort of announcement about these sessions?
I think that's probably a prudent
I think
idea.
that's a great idea. Yeah, I think we need to put something on Lopez Rock anyway, so I think the same message could go on the website too. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe explaining that we are considering going out again for levy in November.
Yeah,
So that they know kind of, why we want to have this information, because it's such a tight time frame.
it is a very tight constraint, yeah.
Do we want to create some main bullet points of what that kind of communication would
Yes.
describe?
Yeah, we are. We'd like to hear, we like to listen, we like to hear from the community. That's the first one.
Lopez Rec wants to hear from you,
Yep.
And,
in addition to our anonymous feedback form.
yeah,
Yeah, good to mention that again, so if they don't want to come.
yeah, I think, yeah.
And I can hyperlink to that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a QR code for that? If somebody comes to these meetings? and
Oh,
wants to do
good
that?
idea. I can create one, yeah, pretty
That'd be great.
easily.
Yeah, I could post a QR code at the pickle tennis courts.
Okay, I'll create a QR code right now.
I think Forms does that, doesn't it? Maybe you need a little widget for it.
You have to do it separately.
Sure, I've done it from Forms before, like you install a little.
Should we mention that we are, we are exploring options, in putting the next levy on the ballot, in terms of like, timing, amount, and other considerations, and would love feedback from the community.
What if we didn't even put that we were thinking of putting a levy on the ballot and just say that we wanted to hear from people about our
Explore next steps.
explore next steps and
Like,
see
if
what
we
people
want people to
say?
show up.
Yeah, because if
We mentioned the levy, maybe people would more likely to show up. If it's too vague, I don't know if people would actually bother to show up. I
Well.
mean, that's what we're doing, right? We are working
Yeah.
toward putting the next levy, resolution, passing the resolution, so I think it's good to, prepare people for that.
I agree with you, John. I mean, it is the reality. It's not,
Yeah.
if it wasn't urgent or
Right.
an important consideration to put it on, we'd probably
Yeah.
move slower.
Mm-hmm.
So people won't be surprised.
So we want to
Yeah.
gather input
When they, yeah,
On a proposed levy.
What are your ideas?
The proposed
on a
levy.
future levy.
Mhm. Possibly this November.
mm-hmm.
This is what I have so far. Lopez Rec
Okay.
wants to hear from you in addition to our anonymous feedback form. We've scheduled a series of listening sessions so that our community has an opportunity to provide feedback. We want to gather input on a future levy, possibly on the November ballot.
Mhm.
Is there more input?
Don't share your ideas. Oh.
Okay. Is that
Mhm.
sufficient?
That's great.
What do you think, then?
Then I can hyperlink the
Sounds good.
calendar and the feedback form.
Mhm.
Um,
Budget preparation and discussion is the other agenda item.
yeah,
It's 3
they're
o'clock.
on the. I'm sending the QR code to everyone. This is for the feedback form.
I might do this.
Should we, move to the next item on the agenda? Or anything else? Okay, so just to wrap up, so we have a lot of listening sessions planned, which is great.
Mhm.
And, yeah, and then, the idea is to jot down, what we hear, and then so that we can share, at the 21st, meeting, July 21st meeting.
Mhm.
Anything else in terms of outreach? I think, would it be good to also have an article? Would that make sense? To just let the public know that that's what we are doing. It could be really short. Public announcement.
I was planning to put it on the message board
Just,
and our website, that little blurb we just created together.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Would it be okay if, we just submit whatever you put on Lopez Rock just to send to Islands Weekly? I know there's some people who are not digital at all, and they might, appreciate seeing the announcement in the newspaper. It's free and
Yeah.
doesn't hurt. Yeah, I think that might.
Good
Would you
idea.
be willing to do that?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So after you post, then I will just submit whatever you post and maybe let me know. So
Okay.
that I know that it's there. Yeah,
Do we have spots where we post hard copies of things normally, like meeting notices and things? Is that something we do?
yeah, like on the door, or on the door
We put
there.
'em- I put them on the bulletin board there.
So I would put, if we could print it and put it in those places where we normally would put our notices, maybe. Just
That little blurb there.
that little blurb and the dates.
Mhm.
We don't have like a bulletin board anywhere else in the village or like at LBN or anything, those people, a lot of people have their own designated things. And we don't have one of them.
We have a whole lot of them.
With our big budget, we've created a digital board to put in the village.
Should we update, the the commission about the work that we did on the budget committee? Since Carol is here too. We
Yeah.
have our entire committee here. Yeah, yeah, would you like to?
Well, I don't have it.
So we met and discussed, different ways to pare down the costs. We, don't have anything final at all, but we try to just, talk about like different ways that we can reduce the cost. And, so far, we have brought it down to 17 cents. That's where we are, and do you wanna see the work so far, or you wanna talk conceptually? Or have any questions?
Sure. I would like to know how you did that.
Well, I think partially it was, there's kind of. We decided for, clarity of communication with the public. And Patsy, I appreciated your input saying, what is the story of this budget is telling us what we plan to do? Of, teasing out as well as we were able, the line items in the budget that were specifically included as part of youth services.
Mhm.
So teasing those out, making them a singular line item. And then for other areas of the budget, seeing like, like auditor fees, election costs, like minimum insurance, some of these things just have to be included in the budget.
Mhm.
And then we tried to look at kind of by line item, which we could get what was kind of the lowest we could go on some of them. So it looks like those were kind of, some reductions were by 20%, some were by 80%, just trying to whittle them down.
Mhm.
But I mean, and then we looked at any personnel too. It does come back ultimately, if 25,000 approximately equates 1 cent in levy rate,
Mhm.
that, it's beneficial to whittle where you can by line item. But we also, there's really kind of 3 things that are of significance in the budget. That's school sports, youth services, and any personnel that we have. So if we want to make any big changes to that levy rate, those are the areas that they need to come out of. So to get down to from that previous levy rate to a 17-cent rate. That was a 30% reduction in youth services and taking what was before a 32-hour-a-week employee of the district down to a half-time and a lower pay rate. And whittling some out of other places as we were able.
What was the first thing that you said was the 30% reduction, did you say?
In youth services.
Youth services.
Does anybody know enough about employment on the island, Brady?
Sure, that was
Or,
reducing it from 172,000 to 120,000 approximately. And taking what was 92,000 in personnel down to 51,000. We did kind of whittle down professional services and utilities from 23,000 to 14,000. So, half a
professional, in professional services.
Capital. Those are kind of the biggest ticket. If we choose to go further, it, has to come from one of those bigger ticket items realistically.
Yes, and we did all this before, at least for me, I didn't, before I got to a chance to read the feedback results. And reading that, I thought was helpful. And I feel like people who took the time to comment, some people really wanted to do a pretty deep dive. They want to see all the itemized costs just to get the picture, the full picture. And it made me realize that, okay, we may lump the number of youth services costs together, but we also need to be prepared to also share the detailed breakdown of that cost as well. And we do have it. And also, it just occurs to me too that, just in terms of our job as commissioners, when we do this interlocal agreement with the school district, I think it would be also important for us to understand the breakdown of that number as well. And I think, this is where perhaps, Brady could provide some, we would be looking to you to help us understand the cost components that make up to $180,000. I think that would be helpful for us to understand as commissioners, so that if we have questions from voters or whatever, we can say that, okay, the $180,000 comes from blah, 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 $120,000 for our youth services, comprise these costs. Anyway, I think it would be good to have that at hand, for all of us.
It's been
to
provided
understand.
before, provided again.
That would be great, yeah, we would love to, yeah.
And
to
it was
have that
a,
on hand.
it was a not to exceed.
Not
That
to
was,
exceed.
that was an
Mhm.
important component of that determination,
Okay.
because there are fluctuating costs, like
Fuel.
postseason. Well, yeah, I mean,
Mm,
supplies and operating costs, but
Mhm.
also, whether teams make it to the postseason, or not,
Right.
for example, is a
Mhm.
cost that we incur regularly that we can't anticipate.
mhm.
And it's, reasonably significant. So
Okay.
the 180 was intended to be a not to exceed.
Mhm.
It's also, the levy is supposed to fund our programs for 4 years.
Is it 4 years or 6 years? The levy.
What do you mean by 4 years?
It's a 4-year levy, isn't it?
6 years.
It's a 6-year levy.
Yeah.
I'm confusing my levies.
Yeah, I know.
But I
They
mean,
are
this,
also-
it's, I've raised it before, but did the budget committee consider what this amount funds in year 5? Has that been part of the conversation? Because
There-
we're seeing costs. not
There
go
is an
down.
inflation adder. I mean, as I hope we're all aware, the total levy amount can increase by 1% per year, but it cannot increase more than that. And that doesn't keep up with inflation, which is why you see levy lid lifts come around, and why we're getting a slew of them right now, because
Yeah.
we had very high inflation, and so, and some specific costs have gone up a lot. And
Yeah.
I just saw that insurance, I think for schools is going up
45%,
significantly because of legislative action
40 grand.
Yeah.
by allowing
Last-
lawsuits from the past to.
There's a call for tort reform, because there's no limit to damages. So insurance companies can't predict what
Mm,
their, costs might be should a lawsuit go the way of the victim, and those damages can be set by, without a limit. In Washington, I think, from what I understand, is the only state that has that. That's why we can't get on water insurance as well, it's because it's a high risk activity.
mhm.
And so the insurance coverage is very expensive. But yes, the school's policy went up 45% from last year to this year. It's $40,000. I know we're not looking at the scale of that with Lopez, but costs are going up in many cases much faster than the inflationary rate. So I just, want to make sure there's some consideration for whatever amount is set by the rate that we ask for in year 1 is sufficient to fund at least those same programs at a minimum in year 5 and 6. That's one of the challenges. Otherwise, you watch your costs go up and your program by necessity go down.
There's an inflation adder. I don't know that it's sufficiently robust.
It's 3%, I believe.
I have 2 questions for the budget
Yeah.
committee. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So I have 2 questions. One is under personnel. Is it possible to find someone that only wants or would work a 20-hour work week at a lower dollar amount? Is that realistic?
What is the dollar rate that you use for this lower one?
Previously, where we were using 45 an hour.
$45 an hour.
As a way for future planning,
Mhm.
just to be clear.
But in the reduced number that you mentioned, are you using a different
We
number?
put in 40.
So do you believe
Probably
you,
not
You
starting.
wouldn't start at 40, that seems high.
Start a little lower, but.
40 as the average, yeah.
and
Yeah,
can,
Lynn, I think that's a great question, and ultimately, my input on it would be what I think is best for the district and its governance is not necessarily what the voters will vote for.
Mhm.
understood.
So that's a reality.
And
That's the
that's,
reality.
that's
yeah.
the reality.
Mhm.
60%.
I see that,
60% of the voters.
yeah, 60.
At least,
Like
yeah.
50%. Yeah.
So I think that is the challenge we're faced with, of making choices that, in our cognitive assessment seem unwise, but might be part of the compromise that occurs in this format.
Yeah, and I feel, we really have to weigh this levy very seriously, because I really feel that a third failed attempt means very serious questions about whether or not we should proceed as a district. I personally would resign, I feel like that just speaks to a deep disconnect between how we see things and how community sees things. And that, if we can't bridge that gap, we just lose I feel like our sense of legitimacy or credibility is seriously in question. So we have to try to put forward before the voters something that we can be confident that, is in alignment, in good alignment with at least, 60% of the voters in the community. And so we therefore have to make hard choices, on whether or not we want to, ensure that this mechanism can be used to provide stable funding for the school. How much can we support the youth programs? And so reading the comments, I feel like might be helpful for voters to understand the budget in terms of the full buckets. One is the school, how much is going toward the school, how much is going toward admin. I feel like people are watching that closely, and that chunk should be as small as possible. And then youth services, I feel like, existing youth services and new youth services. If we can say that, okay, this is to provide funding to support existing youth services that already exist. That's one chunk. Another one is like, okay, are we proposing something new? And if so, what's the difference? Just so people are clear about, okay, how budget is, conceived. That's my take on, providing the clarity that people are seeking for this new round of levy attempt.
Yeah. May I ask my second question now?
Yeah.
My second question was about the insurance premium. Kit had mentioned that we would be able to get an umbrella type of insurance that we could then cover other entities if they paid us, that would be a way to help other people, like, I can't remember his last name, the sailor, Tom someone,
Oh,
or
Todd.
or other people on the island that want to provide some sort of, lessons or whatever activities, but can't get insurance. Would this, what you have in the budget now, would we be able to do that?
Probably not on the insurance line item that's currently in the lower rate,
Okay.
because that was kind of basic insurance.
Basic
but-
insurance, but however, you know, for Orcas, they also have a lot of, classes that they insure that comes under, Orcas rec. But, you know, the people who are running it are not employees at all. But the insurance, coverage of Orcas rec does provide, you know, coverage for those as well. And so, and they also have property, they also, you know, have, more going on than us for sure. And their annual premium is 9,600. For us, you know, because we are a lot smaller and we don't have any property, don't have any vehicles to insure, our premium at 5,000 should be able to cover some, to be able to offer some coverage, for classes that would wanna come under, Lopez rec. I mean, how much, I'm not sure, but we should be able to at least do some. That's my understanding.
Mhm.
And does that insurance cover board members?
Yes.
And allows us access to the kind of more specific legal advice from MRSC.
Mhm.
Basically, you join the insurance pool that MRSC serves.
If we allow, people like the saying that, do they pay us a fee?
So typical park and recs have a policy in which they develop like kind of a standard revenue sharing agreement with individuals who want to provide programming through a park and rec. So
Okay.
it's often like a 20/80 or 30/70 depending on. But the idea is that
So there would be some offset to
Yeah.
the cost from that. Okay.
typically that type of programming is of financial benefit to a district and it's part of their revenue stream. And it is not a cost. That would be an additional way to increase revenue
It would be a wise thing to do, yeah.
is through programming that ends up being a net revenue gain. And then that is a way of like, you know, the people that use the district and the programming end up paying for it more directly.
Orcas Island has 3 staff members.
It's true.
She says jealously.
That,
Like,
it's past at 15, but I think it's collected lower now.
Yeah.
it's like 135, I think.
They do have, a
But
lot
they
of
have
classes.
higher assessed value, so that 15 cents is, I think it's like a $500,000, you know, total levy amount, like levy revenue that they collect off of it. The assessor site for the county has great data that way. They do a tax assessment detail report annually. And it shows the assessed value of each district and the rate that they collect. A lot of great detailed information. Which, in looking at it, in the past 10 years, assessed values in the county have more than doubled.
Mhm.
In the last how many years?
10. So when you, like, if there aren't levy lifts, you don't see big gains in how much you're paying in taxes,
1%.
because it's just held at that 1%. So unless you do big fixes to your property, you just kind of remain even. But because those districts are faced with increased costs, they need to come back and do a levy lift, and then it's reassessed at current assessed values. So you end up seeing, those are the jumps you see. So if, you know, levy lifts haven't been lifted since like 2015, and now they're looking for a levy lift, that's basically doubling of that total collected revenue.
Orcas Island Parks and Rec also doesn't support Orcas school sports
Correct.
Nor do they have really robust out-of-school care, it's kind of like here and there.
classes and.
They have a lot of dance classes and, yeah, art and dance classes
The
that. I
main
think
thing
that's-
they do is manage well.
One question that I've had, people have asked me is whether the resource center is just going to be doing all the programs, or is the rec program also going to be doing the classes and programs?
I ultimately say that the best answer to that is whatever is most cost effective, and it's a collaborative relationship moving forward. So, I think the shared interest is that the programming continue in the most effective manner moving forward. But it can be accomplished through a contracted service. So we could contract with the Family Resource Center to provide that programming on our behalf. That's the legal term for it. So with the school, because they're another taxing district, the agreement between those two things is called an interlocal agreement. And Washington State has quite a few laws that support that, because the sharing of public funds among public institutions is advantageous. So there's a lot of legal support for that. You cannot gift public funds to another entity, but you can contract with another organization to provide services. So that's contracted services terminology.
One of the ways that I think about people's aversion to the admin costs with Family Resource Center is that they have admin costs. And so if we combine forces, the overall admin cost to the island will go down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have noticed that what people see as an administrative cost varies by their background. If you speak to people in the nonprofit world, they have a very different perspective of administrative costs versus somebody in the private sector. So, it's the least understood part of how things get done. And do you call the people that make things on an administrative cost?
Unfortunately, we just need to meet the voters where they are at. If you want to be successful, and a lot of other districts also start pretty minimal. And then once they have been around the community, doing the hard work, earn the trust, then, then they can ask for more. And I feel like that's the approach that I like to see. I know that there's work to do, and, one of the comments, if I remember correctly, is that, why can't we start with, volunteering? And that's what we are doing right now. It's not ideal, but if that's what it takes to get the levy passed, then we have to be prepared to do that.
What does that mean, John?
Means
We're doing
that,
that now, meaning us as commissioners?
it means that we may have to, instead of having to pay for a staff member to do everything, we may have to, leverage the staff time, to get volunteer to do certain things, or, all commissioners have to also put in the time that it takes to whatever, to do whatever it takes to run the district too. It's not ideal at all, but I feel like, we should be prepared to do that if that's what it takes to get the levy passed. That's what I'm saying. I feel like if we fail, we just have to pack up and go home. And so, yeah, we just need to make sure that whatever perception out there that we are bloated, we are whatever, we have to overcome that. We have to come up with a very minimal budget so that the public feels confident that, okay, their money will be well utilized. And to do that, I think we need to maximize the portion that will be, sent to, it will be, passed through to the school through the interlocal agreement, and will be passed through to,
Faster.
will
We don't use
be,
that language because of.
will be allocated.
I know,
for-
I'm always nitpicky with you on this, but
Yeah.
it's
Will
our
be
legal
allocated.
obligation to
Yes.
use correct legal language.
Will be allocated for, athletic, sports, school athletics and, youth services programs that are currently being done by Family Resource Center. And that I feel like is what the voters will be watching very closely on. And so I think, part of the listening session for me, at least, I love to know, okay, it seems that, most people are very supportive. I feel like people are very supportive of the school. I feel the portion that will be allocated for school sport, that piece has the most support. The piece, next, after that is the youth services provided by Family Resource Center. And that, how much are people willing to pay for that piece is not clear, so we could have cost sharing, we could absorb 100%, but, how much are people willing to pay for in order for the levy to pass? That is for us to figure out. And then the portion, after that, that is next in priority would be new youth services that, yes, great to have, but, we don't have right now. And people might be willing to pay for it, but we need to find out, how much people are willing to pay for new programs, new services that are not currently being offered by either the school or the Family Resource Center. And the last one that people, is really.
When you talk about that, I mean, we haven't really discussed it as part of our vision to provide. I mean, there was a little in there that was like 80% anticipated covered by revenue. Is that kind of?
Like last budget that we approved, there was, some activities that were included in the last 23 cents. That has additional, new youth activities, like, if I remember correctly, some kind of, I don't even know what the word is, but there's some new activities that also generate revenues, let's see, let me go back to see if I can find it. Anyway, but it's something that is not being covered currently by, Family Resource Center. And that is something that, if we be included in our budget, we have to be clear that, there's sufficient support within the community for that, funding. I know it's not a lot.
Well, another way to account for that is just that it has to be at least revenue neutral on it too.
Okay,
If we wanted to have.
last time it was not, and that's why, that's a new piece. But the admin
Wait,
piece,
last time meaning the 23 cent?
20%, yeah. So the revenue is less than the cost,
For youth was not revenue neutral.
right?
I don't remember the program for youth in the 23 cent.
It was under,
But what wasn't factored in, if I remember correctly, which would be beneficial for us to quantify, is the revenue. Right, the revenue's never been estimated. So I think that's where revenue.
there was
neutral
just
comes
was
a,
estimated.
there was a small youth recreation one.
in the 23 cent.
Mm-hmm. Youth sports. That's
like.
teen activities. Teen sports, yeah,
Sport.
teen sports.
How much?
Mm,
And
there was,
so
there was about 11,000 expense to 5,000
yeah,
revenue. So $5,000 worth of, so a
mhm.
quarter of a
And that was for new programs.
It was a quarter of a cent.
It's really good to have that figure so that we can answer that $25,000 is 1 cent, so that, like you just said, it was a fifth. You said a quarter. It was actually a fifth of a penny if it was 5,000. But it's good to have that as people. And I'm wondering, I have more questions. One is it possible for us to have the most recent working budget um, like we got at the last meeting, so that at listening sessions, we could actually share this with people as they have questions about various aspects of our thinking and budgeting? And I've lost you somehow. Meeting end? Jenny, can you hear me? I don't see anybody anymore. You all there? What happened?
Power supply, like,
Then the meeting is adjourned at 3:48 PM.
Great,
Brady
thank you.
moved, Patsy seconded, and we were all in favor of adjourning.
aye.
Thank you for being here, Carol. You guys seem so lonely, I thought. Thank you, Lynn. Bye.
Thank you, bye. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, next time I need to bring my power supply.